A new Pokémon Present dropped, and boy was it a highly anticipated one. There's a lot to talk about, so let's just get right into it. First things first, they actually brought up the Pokémon World Championship, which is taking place in London on August 18th through the 21st. Of course, it's going to have the typical VGC, TGC, and Pokken stuff there, but they'll also have Pokémon Unite and Pokémon Go Championships going on as well, which I'm actually really happy to see. While the moment-to-moment gameplay for Pokémon Go's battling isn't exactly my thing, I'll be really interested to see the top plays for the Pokémon Unite Championship. I've always loved MOBAs, and watching the top players do their thing will be really exciting. Pokémon Go is having an event this weekend, and if you live anywhere near Sapporo, Japan, you can actually go to the event in person. However, for everyone else in the world, you'll be able to participate in this event by logging in on August 27th during the World Championship Final. This is actually going to be a global event that will allow you to catch all the Ultra Beasts that you probably missed out on before. Not only this, but it's possible to encounter Pokémon that aren't normally available in the wild, including the mythical Pokémon Shaman, done by completing some research tasks. Additionally, Pokémon Unite is doing a 1-year anniversary event including new Pokémon and campaigns. The Pikachu-only game mode actually looks pretty fun, and Buzzle definitely looks busted, so I'll have to check it out. They said there's more to come in September as well, so I'll be keeping an eye out for that. But you all know who I'm waiting for. Then they baited me by teasing a Legends Arceus update or DLC, but it was actually just a Pokémon Masters update. I know this is supposed to be the moment where Gold encounters Red on Mount Silver, but it totally looked like Legends Arceus. This was pretty much just a content teaser, but yeah, it's Pokémon Masters. Mewtwo is hungry and likes small plates. Pokémon Cafe. Now, what you've really been waiting for, Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. We start off with the opening shots, showcasing the Pokémon landscape and architecture, when suddenly,
attention please!
Our attention is immediately brought to the fact that we're going to be in a school setting. Most people, including myself, predicted this, so there's no surprises there. But before we can even think about that, we see our player character actually approaching the legendaries. If you're wondering what this means, just give it a minute. Then, this teacher-like figure, who we haven't met yet, announces the next major theme for the games, the treasure hunt, which we'll get more information about later. Then, as per usual, we're called to adventure and to travel across the Paldea region, which is the name of the new region for Generation 9. But travel how, you might ask? Oh, you know, on the back of the legendaries. Like a bike.
Bruh.
Miraidon is like a Tron bike, but Koraidon, just running. Oh, and they can fly with the wings on their head.
Bruh.
Now, this is actually something that people were discussing as a possibility, but I didn't think it would look quite like this. While Koraidon definitely looks ridiculous, it's exactly the kind of thing that helps one generation stand out from another, so I actually like the idea quite a bit. Also, it turns their name into puns. Me, ride on, and Ko, ride on. All the hilarity aside, they're going to be our travel buddy throughout the adventure, which is interesting. Typically, we meet our box legendaries at the end, but this time around, they're going to be with us throughout our whole adventure. It makes me wonder what other Pokemon will be the focus of the story. Perhaps, since one legendary will be with you for the whole game, the other may serve as the main story Pokemon. But we'll have to wait and see. For Generation 9, it does seem like traversal is going to be a core theme. Of course, all Pokemon games want you to explore, but here we're being directly encouraged to get to know the region. Get to know all the abundant nature, rich culture, the people, and of course, the Pokemon. And as a cultural researcher, I'm very excited to hear that. Before they get into the details, they do a quick showcase of all those new people, places, and Pokemon that we will surely meet in our adventure. And a car. Here, they kind of tease this generation's gimmick. We'll get some more information about this at the end. I have a lot to say, so we'll come back to it later. Before that, we get the official names for the academies in each game. Naranja and Uva Academy. Both of these names translate from Spanish to English as orange and grape respectively. And we learn that the treasure hunt is actually a school project, where we're tasked to find a treasure of our own. Now, I speculate that the treasure isn't really a physical thing, so much as it is the journey and everything you meet along the way. Of course, I can't say that for sure, but that's what I think based on everything that's been shown. Here, they actually reveal that there's going to be 3 main stories that await us. The first is the standard 8 gyms and champion path that we're all used to. But, as we found out last time, there will be no required order for the gyms, and we'll get to make our own. Ultimately, I think this is a good thing, but we'll have to see how they do it. For example, how will the levels scale? And does level scaling affect the story events as well? Is there going to be some required pathing going from one town to the next, that then opens up into more than one choice? I'm happy to see them trying new things. So overall, I'm excited to see what they'll do here. The other 2 stories are left a mystery for now, and it seems like we'll have to get the games in our hands to see what they have in store. For now, we get to see Professor Sada and Professor Turo again, just before we get the name of the man we met before, Mr. Clavel, who's actually the director of the Academy. We've seen schools in Pokemon games before, but this is the first time it's become a real main story focus. We even have a homeroom teacher, Mr. Jock, who teaches biology. Since they specified the subject, I have a feeling they'll do this for other teachers as well. But it just brings up the question of why. At least for me, I'm hoping the classes actually have some gameplay to them. Like what if in biology class, you research the biology of Pokemon, and that research goes towards completing a new section of the Pokédex, all about biology. I would say this idea is too ambitious, but they actually say on the Pokemon website that Mr. Jock is a developer for the Pokédex app on your Rotom phone. So, if he's already taking part in developing the app, it might be a real possibility. We also have classmates. I'm sure you all remember Nimona from last trailer, but here we're also introduced to Arvin, an upperclassman who's supposedly a great cook. We also meet a shy girl named Penny, who I'm sure will be a fan favorite. For now, we don't know much about these guys, but I'm sure they're going to act as additional rivals. We also meet Gersha, an Ice-type gym leader. They used to be a professional snowboarder, but is now the gym leader of Glaciado Gym. Typically, they're pretty cool-headed, but can get emotional in the heat of battle. Now for my favorite part of the trailer, the new Pokemon. And to start, we get our first regional form, Wooper, the poison fish Pokemon. I was pretty happy to see this. Whoopie Boy has become something of a fan favorite over the years, and the regional form actually fits it very well. Paldean Wooper is a poison ground type. As many of you may know, original Wooper's Pokédex entries often speak about their body being coated in a slimy poisonous film. However, it only does this when it comes onto land. In fact, it's said that this technique is done to keep its skin from dehydrating, and this layer of film is even described as gooey or toxic. So this is clearly what happens to Wooper when it stays on land for too long. To better adapt to their environment, they drop the water typing and take on the poison from the protective film. The Pokemon website actually confirms this directly. It tells us that this process happened due to Wooper's gills hardening or dehydrating. Additionally, it may have some accurate, albeit kind of sad, real-world connections to further support this theory. You see, Wooper is based on an axolotl, which are originally found in several lakes underlaying what is now Mexico City. However, these lakes were drained by the Spanish during the conquest of the Aztec Empire, which obviously destroyed their natural habitat. Seeing how Paldea is based on the Iberian Peninsula, where Spain is located, and it was Spain that drained the water out, which of course led to dehydration, it's easy to see the connection, and in a way, has a similar story to Galarian Corsola. But in terms of Paldea, it implies that this change happened many years ago. It says that the last time Wooper lived underwater in Paldea was in ancient times. And it's interesting to know how Pokemon may change over time to better fit their environment. This is part of the reason why I really liked regional forms. And they get even better when they tell us something about the fundamentals of a Pokemon. As for the actual new Pokemon, we meet Fido, the puppy Pokemon. As you can tell, the name gives it away here. It's a dog Pokemon made of dough. Playing off the common name for dogs, Fido. The name actually comes from the Latin meaning to trust or confide in, or more literally, I am faithful. So a pretty fitting play on words for a dog Pokemon. Fido is a fairy type, and it says that its skin is both smooth and elastic, and firm and soft. It may puff up its skin in attempts to intimidate other Pokemon if it becomes excited. But it seems that people mostly use Fido for cooking rather than for battling, as it can ferment things using yeast in its breath. It goes so far as to say that this Pokemon has been protected by people since long ago. Last but not least, we have our newest Pokemon, Cetitan, the Terra Whale Pokemon. Cetitan is an ice type, and as you can see, he's already a tank. It says that their tough body is needed in order to support the physical attacks of incredible power, and that they can also use their thick layer of fat to migrate around snowy regions. Cetitan has 5 horns, and the center one on the upper jaw is able to gather ice energy, which lowers the temperature of the area around the Pokemon. This likely takes inspiration from a narwhal, which are typically found in colder regions. So the ice typing does make sense. However, it doesn't seem that there are any narwhals native to Iberia. Cetitan's design is a little out there, but I think it'll start to grow on me with time. The thing that had me most excited from the last trailer was the potential to play through your journey along with all your friends. And here we finally get more information on that. By using the Union Circle, you can summon your friends into your world and explore alongside them. And when I say explore, I really mean it. You'll be able to play with up to 3 friends throughout the entire region, catching Pokemon, racing, or just hanging out. This feature has been a long time coming for Pokemon, so I'm excited to see it's finally here. However, I'm still waiting to see what the feature holds. Sure, there'll be raid battles, but what about optional overworld interactivity that requires more than one person? Could you do battles or gym challenges together? I guess what I really want to know is, how much co-op will there be? Is it going to be like where you can only see them and talk to them for battling and trading? Or will your friends actually be able to do everything alongside you? Based on the phrase, cheering each other on as you battle wild Pokemon, it's likely going to be the former, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright, and here's the official gimmick of the generation. Terrestrialize. All Pokemon will be able to terrestrialize, which can give a boost to a Pokemon's type, empowering its moves. Now the reason why I specify a type is because terrestrializing can actually change what a Pokemon's type is. To quote the trailer, what type they become seems to be dependent on that Pokemon's Terra type. They say that typically a Pokemon would terrestrialize its main type, like an Eevee would typically remain normal type, but that there could be Pokemon of the same species that have a different Terra type, like an Eevee with a grass or water Terra type. Additionally, Pokemon with these rare types will appear more frequently in Terra raid battles. Similar to Dynamax raids, you can complete them with up to 3 people. However, unlike those raids, you don't have to wait for them every turn. You get to attack or heal your own Pokemon with independent timing. And now anyone that's seen my previous video might know that I'm kind of disappointed by the gimmick chosen here, as I was hoping they would go for something more like past and future forms unique to each Pokemon. And glowing Pokemon definitely isn't that. However, terrestrializing isn't completely disappointing. The concept of type-changing Pokemon is actually super cool, and it will add a whole additional layer to battling and competitive play that I'm genuinely excited to see. However, in terms of actual execution, I think it's a massive letdown. Rather than new forms for each type change, Pokemon just glow and get a funky looking hat. To me, it's the same problem that Dynamax had. Big Pokemon wasn't exciting to begin with, and now glowing Pokemon doesn't add much intrigue to that either. It would probably be a logistical nightmare to give each type change a new form, but honestly, even a color palette swap to match the new typing would have been more interesting in my opinion. But this is the choice they're going with, so we're just gonna have to roll with it. Again, the type changing thing is conceptually interesting. It's just the execution, well, it's definitely not my favorite thing in the world. Now, if I'm not mistaken, when Dynamax was announced, we didn't get any information about Gigantamax for some time. And as we discussed before, players are a lot more receptive to Gigantamax than Dynamax because of the new interesting forms. So my hope is that we'll get to see an expansion on the terrestrialized idea that does more than just glowy with the hat. And that wraps up the Pokémon Presents. Overall, it was very good, despite the underwhelming execution of the new mechanic. Everything else in the trailer, even the kinda hilarious stuff, was definitely really good, and it's got me even more hype for Generation 9. But I'm excited to hear what y'all have to say. What do you think of the Paldea region? Did the legendary bike thing surprise you? And do you agree with my take on the Terra types and terrestrialized mechanic, or no? Let me know in the comments below. Like if you did, sub for more, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.